been a long time since I've posted a video, and all of the videos that I had on my YouTube page before I deleted. I kept them for a long time, and then after watching them after a good period of time, I decided to take them off. All of those videos, I was drunk and not representing myself very well as a person. I mean, that was my reality, but wasn't good. And so since all of those videos, and some of them were posted 4 or 5 years ago, around 5 years ago, I'm sober, and I've been sober for over 3.5 years now, and a lot of things have changed, and life is better, a lot better. And the purpose of making this video is a couple of things. I'll start with, I started nursing school last week, and when I was preparing to start nursing school, I had this thought in my head that I was going to make videos every day driving to and from school, which is crazy because I have to pay attention to driving, so that's not going to happen. But to talk to my kids, I have 4 children, and I'm not going to see them very much for the next 16 months that I'm in school. And I would like to talk to them through the videos and let them know what I'm doing, what I'm thinking. Am I thinking about them? But that's probably not going to happen. One of the other reasons that I'm making the video is to explain the process from when I was making videos before to now, which I basically just summarized. But yeah, I was a raging alcoholic for years, and then I started watching YouTube videos and decided that I wanted to make them myself. And I was a busy mom and working and married, and thought that I had a lot of interesting things going on and I could share them, but that turned into just me talking to a camera drunk. And so they weren't really interesting. They were embarrassing and kind of funny, but not so much anymore. So anyhow, I deleted those videos. They're not how I want to represent myself. And that's the end of it. I mean, going forward, a lot of things have changed, and a lot of people keep up with what I have going on Facebook or Instagram because I post on there. But summarizing, I've been divorced for, I think, 2.5 years now. That was a good thing. And my marriage ended for many reasons, but mostly because I needed to get sober, and that wasn't an environment I could do it in. And the environment wasn't changing, so that was the end of that. And there are many other reasons, but none of them, those are personal reasons. That they're not things that I need to share. I got sober, take these off, and I had my 2 girls at the time, Aubrey and Leah, and I started renting an apartment, and not very long after, was contacted by my fiance, Nate, and he invited me out for coffee, and that coffee date turned into us being together. It was pretty sweet. I mean, we went out for coffee, and then we ended up going for a walk, and then we just became inseparable. And a lot of people at the time told me that jumping into another relationship wasn't the best idea, wasn't what I was planning. I wasn't looking for anybody. I was just looking to set my life straight and figure out what I was doing. But it happened that way. And so we were together quite a long time before I actually got divorced. And a little less than a year of being together, we moved in together. And again, I still wasn't divorced. And shortly after moving in together, we found out we were expecting a baby. And when we moved in together, his son, Gavin, came with him, who I now consider my son, my stepson. And then we had a baby, Willow. So she'll be 2 this year. And life is good. I mean, I have been having no issues staying sober, but I think a lot of the next part I'll say is that's part of the reason that I want to make a video, or maybe videos also, is to show what it's like to deal with or experience life sober, or trying to be sober. It's not easy. It can be very, very difficult. Summertime is the worst time for me, which is what it is right now, because I would typically, it's hot outside. I mean, and I was a beer drinker, not that it matters, but it's hot outside, so I would constantly drink beer, cold beer. And so it's interesting to think about now. And I'm thinking maybe people would be interested to hear what it's like to deal with that. You know, if I get stressed out, I can't drink. That's not a possibility for me because there's no end to it. In my own addiction, once I started drinking for the day, there was no end to it. It was drink until the alcohol's all gone or I fall asleep. And so those aren't, you know, I don't live that way anymore, and I don't want to. But it still takes a toll on how I deal with my day-to-day life. It left a mark. You know, I still have an addictive personality. I am very impulsive, many things, and I'm sure they'll come up at other times. But, you know, the kids are on summer vacation, and I just took on this full-time Monday through Friday, 8 to 2:30, which will change later when I get busier in school, schedule. And then I also work full-time, 32 hours full-time at my work. And so I'm working double shifts on the weekends to make my hours. And I work third shift, first shift, double shifts Friday and Saturday. And then in addition to that, we also own a cleaning business, Nate and I, and I do those cleaning jobs unless I hire someone to do them, or sometimes I pay the kids to go with me and help. So it's busy, and like I said, I like to keep in touch, stay, you know, stay transparent with my family and the kids, and anybody that wants to listen or follow along and hear what's going on. At this point, I think it's maybe almost 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm already at school in East Hartford, and school doesn't start until 8 o'clock. I have a test today, so I came early. I'm going to sit and study for a little bit before I go in, but I have time. I leave an hour and a half earlier than I need to, mostly because I have to drive on a busy highway, and I prefer to avoid the major traffic, and I'd rather just be in a good habit of being on time for school now. So I just wanted to share what is going on. I mean, I'm busy and it's crazy and there's a lot. And so maybe it's just therapy. Maybe it's just I'm talking because I'm talking to myself, or I'm talking to them, or I'm talking to my best friend who I can't talk to on the phone because she might not be awake yet, or she's busy because she has a little baby, or my other best friend who might already be on her way to work. And these are people that I would talk to daily, weekly, and that's not there anymore. So, or it's changed. So let's do this instead and see where it goes. moving on from that, I do have a test today. Medical terminology. The other 3 classes I have are seminar, which is basically teach us how to be students, and math and English. It's not bad. So far, it's not bad. I think that terminology is probably going to be the death of me, but I'll figure it out. Flipping flashcards when I'm working, when I'm cooking dinner, when I'm eating dinner, when I'm parked in the car, right when I finish, I flip through. So I'm staying on top of it and, you know, prioritizing the things that need to be prioritized. So that's all of it. That's all of it for now. The change is good. Everything feels good. So I'm back on YouTube.